Hey happy bees, it's Amanda, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make an LOL Punk Boi cake topper. I've made this little guy using modelling paste, and I've put links in the description below for everything that I'm using to create this topper. So to start out, we're going to create Punk Boi's legs. You're going to roll out a sausage of fondant and use your finger to create an indentation in the centre. Use a cocktail stick for support and trim off the top and bottom. Create a torso for Punk Boi using a teardrop piece of modelling paste now, and you're going to just twirl it around to create a neck. And use your palm to flatten it down. And again, trim the top and the bottom. Use a strip of black fondant at the bottom of the leg. And now we're using an oval piece of black fondant. You're going to pinch that at either side and trim at the back. And place that at the bottom of the leg. You're going to use a knife to create an indentation around the bottom to create a sole. And you can also go along that to create little lines as well. To create Punk Boi's shorts, you're going to use a rectangle piece of grey modelling paste, and you're going to distress along the bottom. Create 2 holes in the front as well. Place it on top of the legs and body that you've already created. Use a cookie cutter to trim the top part of the shorts. And use a knife to create a waistband. I'm going to create arms now in the same way that we created his legs. So it's a sausage of fondant. You're going to pinch it at the bottom and use your fingers to create a wrist. Use a knife to create fingers and a thumb. And trim at an angle at the top. Use a square strip of black fondant now to create sleeves. And for the front of his t-shirt, we're going to use a white strip of modelling paste, and we're going to use that cookie cutter again to give us that nice shape that we need. A little strip of black fondant on the top and the bottom of his t-shirt. And I'm using some black edible paint to paint on some details. As you can see, the shirt is in a T-shaped piece of red modelling paste. I'm going to place that around his waist. And use some black edible paint to create some details on his shirt. Use an oval piece of modelling paste to create Punk Boi's head, and you're going to flatten this down against your work surface on 3 sides, leaving the top as a rounded shape. You're going to use a ball tool to create a mouth, and then a larger ball tool to create eye sockets. Fill those eye sockets in with white fondant. And use a circle of brown and black fondant for eyes. Use some black fondant to create a little trim for the outside of Punk Boi's eyes. And I'm using some white edible paint and a dotting tool to create some catch lights. Use some peach edible dust to give him some rosy cheeks. And you're going to use a small circle tool to create a little smile. Now you're going to fill in his mouth with some black fondant. Use 2 small strips of modelling paste to create lips for your little guy. And I want him to look like his smile is going up on one side, so I'm using a shaper tool here. Give him some eyebrows and a little oval nose. To create hair, we're going to press down on a blue ball of fondant and you're going to use your fingers to flatten around the edges. And fit that onto Punk Boi's head. You're going to use a knife to create some hair indentations here. Use some black edible paint to create some details onto his hair. And of course you have to give him some cute little freckles. Cut an oval piece of modelling paste in half to create ears. And use a cake decorating tool to create an indentation in the centre. Use some bright blue modelling paste now and create some hair strands along the front of Punk Boi's head. And then create a mohacan. I never know if it's mohacan or mohawk, but the spiky thing in the centre of his head, you're going to use a sausage of blue modelling paste and fry that out along the edges. Click in the video on your screen now if you want to see lots more LOL doll cakes and toppers, and I'll see you over there.